Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? Back for a Saturday night with you all, or if you're here, it's Sunday afternoon. Good to have you here. Good to have you. Uh, a busy Saturday, sort of for you guys. There's been a few stories in the media, but as we gear up for a new season, season 8 of Cold Justice is coming back. This case that's in the title, the Anita Knutson case, it was featured on that show. It was how this court case came to be. It was why they tried it again. Is because Cold Justice went and worked on the case a few years ago, and when you hear that they got a not guilty verdict in the woman accused, now apparently found, not guilty. It's, that must be very hard to hear for all the people, the family, and everyone who tried to work on it. It's disappointing, but we'll talk about it. One of the things that people were talking about in relation to this was the sort of like movie esque reaction from the defense and the accused in the courtroom. So I don't know if you saw it, but let me try and find one we can use, and then I will show you. But yeah, here, let me load this up. Like that, I don't think I've ever seen a courtroom outside of a movie act like this. So this is her here. This is Nichole Rice, and she was accused of killing her roommate Anita in 2007, but she had been found not guilty. All right, let me try. Let me try and find one that we can actually use in the courtroom. Can't use anything from court TV. They will come after us like we killed their own children. They'll come after us like we're the murderer. Hold on. Yeah, here. Let me load this up and let me know if you've seen this before. Let me know what you think of this reaction.
Paneled and sworn, find the defendant Nichole Rice not guilty of the information dated at Grand Forks, North Dakota, this 26th day of March 2025.
The reaction you saw there was quite the opposite on the other side of the courtroom. Anita Knutson's family quickly left the courtroom and was escorted out of the courthouse and did not talk to the media. Rice, her family, and attorneys all told us they also have no comment. And that was also the case for the prosecuting attorney.
So I don't know what you think about that, but when you have a victim family just across from you on the other side, what must they be feeling? I get that you won your court case and it's a big deal and it's life changing. I understand that. But at the same time, do you not have any compassion for the people that are sitting on the opposite side of the courtroom who have been fighting for justice for their daughter who was murdered? I mean, it's pretty insulting if you ask me. I mean, I get being excited, but maybe you do that in the privacy of your own home after you leave the court. To me, it's almost like a big, you know, uh, like an FU or like in your face, that type of thing. Spike the ball in the end zone. Yeah, like very over the top. April B said it's disrespectful to the court and the victim. Courts don't like that behavior. Well, they weren't really reprimanded for it. I mean, the judge was sort of like, oh, we're going to keep going. But it must be disappointing for all the people that worked on this case. It was a circumstantial type case. There was no like real smoking gun as such, but there were some alleged confessions. There was two of them, and I think why would anyone go around confessing to killing their roommate? Um, where do we go from here? I don't know. Maybe the DA will appeal. I don't know if they will. It's already been a pretty hard trial on everyone involved. Maryland says usually the judge wouldn't like that outburst. Yeah, what happened to composure in the courtroom? I don't see that here. It's very disappointing. And look, everyone is deserved their day in court. Nichole had hers. She won her case. That's her, given right on this earth is to defend yourself. Not angry about that. Not angry about the result as such. That's how the legal system works. But April B said the judge should have reminded everyone that silence is expected after a verdict is read. Exactly, exactly. So a very sad ending to a very long-running case. This has been going on since 2007. I can't remember what year Cold Justice did the episode. It was a while ago. I can't. 2019, 2021. It was a few years ago. Let me see. Cold Justice. In 2019. There you go. I was right the first time. There you go. 2019. They say here, the PD, the local police department, were brought onto the case in 2019 and were given support through the involvement of Cold Justice, a true crime documentary series. They said here that the interim chief at the time, who was the first officer at the murder scene in 2007, indicated in his testimony last week that the MPD had struggled to close the cold case due to staffing issues and increased crime rates in the area. That's very interesting. He also said that cold justice investigators provided logistical support, aided investigators during the interviews as they honed in on a suspect, which was ultimately Nichole Rice. They say Rice's attorney cast doubt on the intentions of cold justice during his closing arguments on Tuesday, saying their involvement influenced and pressured the MPD to charge his client. And he says, the TV show comes to town and we're getting charges. They came to town for 7 days. They're telling you in their closing that the police department is so busy they can't get things right. The show came in, it had an agenda. That agenda was to get Nichole in that chair right there, because that's what gets people watching these shows. They don't care who did this. They care about who is watching that TV. I don't think so. I think Kelly Siegler 100% cares about the victims. Does she have a TV show to make at the same time? Sure. But I think she spent the majority of her life defending victims either in her previous job in the prosecutor's office or now having her TV show. So I don't agree with that. Amber Alert. Yeah, I will get to that. I will get to the Amber Alert. Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it. We'll get to that. I just wanted to cover this because I think we covered it back when she was charged, back when she went to court. I can't remember when we first followed it on this channel, but it was a while ago. But yeah, disappointing ending. And for Anita's family, you have to ask, where do they go? Where do they go from here? Uh, will they ever see justice for Anita? And I don't have those answers. I don't know if they will. And I think it's very, very sad that they may go through life never having someone held accountable for their daughter's death. April B said, I don't think that is her goal. No, I don't think so either. They've had a lot of failures. I've watched every episode of Cold Justice, all of them, multiple times, and they have failed several times. Multiple times they have failed. There's a bunch of cases that they went out and tried to help the police departments, and they failed. They could not find a suspect. They could not get anyone to talk. They couldn't get anything. There's been quite a few. Rachel said, I think there just wasn't enough evidence for the jury. I watched some of the trial. The prosecutor was lacking. Yes. At the end of the day, it's the state's job to prove their case. and they obviously didn't do it here because otherwise the jury would have come back with a guilty verdict. So if you want to look at someone to blame, ultimately in this situation for the trial, it has to be the prosecuting team, as sad as that is. Texas Roadrunner says, I'm not sticking around tonight. I have a remodel headache. All right, mate. Have fun with the remodeling tomorrow. Glitter says, I'm here listening. I have a migraine, so I can't see my phone. Okay. All right, have fun with that. As you can see, I got a crackly voice tonight. Snarks, hey Snarks, how are you? Yeah, well, we'll talk about it in a minute. I have that loaded up already. Of course I do. Of course I do. All right, I'll leave it there. I don't think there's too much more to say on Anita. But I will say it's been a long journey for that family, and uh, their journey is going to continue, unfortunately. It just in a very different way than they thought, I think, which is I find that very sad. Very sad. Okay, we'll talk about the bolo that's out, and let me take you to it here. This one looks very concerning. I was reading about this about an hour ago, and if I can get it up on the screen, come on. Sometimes our StreamYard likes to be slow. Okay, here we go.
A teenage girl has not been seen since 3:45 early this morning, and the Bexar County Sheriff's Office is asking for your help. Take a look. 14-year-old Ramona Shanti was last seen on Bar Hill Post when she was picked up by an unknown man. Ramona's phone was tracked and found abandoned. She was last seen wearing a gray long sleeve shirt with a white cream colored pajama shorts. Ramona has a mole underneath her right eye. She also has braces with a teal band. If you have seen Ramona, call the sheriff's office. It is a Class A misdemeanor to harbor a runaway and is punishable up to a 1 year in jail sentence and up to $5,000 in fines.
So some of the details on this one
Well, sadly, the death toll from Friday's earthquake in
all right, earthquake. It says here, Ramona was reportedly last seen in the 7600 block of Bar Hill Post Street around 3:35 a.m. in the morning, being picked up by an unknown man. They said when Armstrong's phone was tracked, it was found abandoned. That's never a good thing. It reminds me of a case we did out of Texas last year where there was a girl who went missing in the middle of the night. Do you guys remember that one? It might have been the same county, and it was very similar. Middle of the night, the girl snuck out of her home, met with a guy in a truck, like a big pickup truck, and went missing. So it reminds me very much of that. 3:35 a.m. in the morning. That is a very early hour for a 14-year-old to be leaving her home. I got another one here for you. They say BCSO searching for the missing 14-year-old, last seen in Northwest Bexar County. Phone found abandoned. Yeah, that's very concerning, the phone thing. And picked up by an unknown male. They say authorities tracked her phone, then they found it abandoned. She was last seen wearing a grey long sleeve shirt with white cream colored pajama shorts. Ramona is 5 feet 6 inches tall with brown hair, brown eyes, and then she has a mole underneath her right eye and has braces with teal bands. So not good. Let me get her photo up on the screen so you guys can see her. There you go. 3:35 a.m. It's very strange. April B says, I remember that. I thought it was North Carolina. Thought it was Texas. Thought it was Texas that girl went missing. Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm wrong. Hold on. Let's see if I can find it. No, it's not that one. It was like last year. Yeah. I can't find it. If I ever do, I'll show it to you. But yeah, something like it's very much, very much the same. They had the CCTV of this car pulling up out the front of her parents' home, and she had left and jumped into it, and then I think she went missing for a period of time. This is in Bexar County in Texas. In Texas. RX Girl said, I worry about my 14-year-old daughter. I tried to tell her all guys on the internet are 50-year-old bald dudes in their mum's basement. It's probably true, or at least a percentage of them are. Just tell them that they're all horribly unattractive, and, you know, she has to wait till she's 21 to talk to anyone on the internet. Rachel said her phone being abandoned is very scary. I hope it wasn't an online predator. Yeah, teenagers and their phones. I don't know why she would do that. It's like her one safety mechanism, right? BC said it was in Texas. She was found at a gas station. That's it. That's right, BC. She was found at a gas station. Texas. Yeah. Yeah, it was like last year she went missing for a period of time. No, was it that one? Was it in Garland in Texas? Was it that one? There's been a few. There's been a few of them. Viral missing. Yeah, it might be the one in Garland. Maybe it was Adriana Solozanzo. Maybe I can't remember. I can't remember. There has been a few of them, but there was one last year out in Texas that we covered on this channel. Angela Gayla says show her pictures of Keegan Klein and what he really looked like. Oh my god, right? Actually, you know, Keegan Klein has a doppelganger in the UK. There's a guy in the UK who did basically what Keegan Klein did, but like 1,000 times worse. He had thousands of victims, caused girls to hurt themselves, that type of thing. And he was arrested, I think, last year. I think we did a show on that too. But Keegan Klein looks like a low offender compared to the guy in the UK. They did a they did a documentary on him this year. This year, I think. RX Girl said, "I don't have any hope. She's always thought Dr. Phil was good looking, so I might not be helping her." It's an interesting childhood crush to have, Dr. Phil. It must be the mustache. April B says, "One look at him and she'll throw her phone away." They should do like a before and after. It looks like Justin Bieber. Looks like Keegan Klein. Nikki says, "Hello everyone from Adelaide, Australia." Hey, my friend. Good to see you. Hope Adelaide is doing well. Stop stealing my moves. Yeah. So I don't think we know too much more about this missing girl. Give me 1 second. Ramona. Sounds like she was gonna. If this is the same girl, and I think it is. It said something on her profile. It says, "Hi, I'm Ramona Armstrong. I have an amazing opportunity to play volleyball in Spain during the month of July. I was selected to be a part of Exact Sports." I'm not sure what that is, but sounds like she was traveling to Spain maybe last year. That's on her Instagram. Let me check the Facebook for you. If it'll load, come on. Come on, Bexar County Sheriff. Oh, no, it looks like under 40 minutes ago. Here. Here, Sheriff's Office. Missing child Ramona Armstrong, 14, has been located. Nathaniel Edward Gonzalez is detained. We would like to thank everyone that helped share the post, pictures, and information. Persons of interest involving missing 14-year-old girl, please share. Okay, that's just the update. Here is the guy that they arrested, Nathaniel Edward Gonzalez. He's 24. A 24-year-old guy picking up a 14-year-old girl in the middle of the night. Why? Why did, this guy, if you're willing to pick up a 14-year-old girl in the middle of the night, straight to jail for you. I think you've already made a wrong turn in life, and now you've made another turn into the county jail. So that's concerning, but I'm glad they figured that out pretty quick. I hope that's not like, oh, he's my internet boyfriend and he's in college and, he's the older guy. But that is good news. Hey, picking up a 14-year-old. Yeah, see, someone else here says picking up a 14-year-old girl while being 24 is crazy. It is crazy. But why did he throw her phone away? And was this some sort of like trafficking type thing? Or, was this you know, you have to throw your phone away, otherwise the authorities will be able to track us, and then they'll be able to break our love. They'll be able to take you away from me. Is it like that type of situation? Allegedly, that's right. Snark says, ping the curse. They're always found as you're covering them. I know, right? That happens every time we have a missing child. Maybe I'm the good luck charm to finding missing kids. Just make Ping do a show on it, and then suddenly they're found. Happens every time we have a missing kid. But that's all good. I'm happy that they are found. I'd much rather that than the other way. A hebephile, yeah, that's what he is, because teenager, not pre. SP says, wow, she's going to need therapy, and it is still so suspicious. It is a little bit. It is, I'd want to know what the background to it is. Like, were they talking online, and was there some sort of like grooming going on? BC said, that's great news. Yeah, I agree. Anytime we can get a kid home to their mom, that is the ultimate goal. So there we go. Hold on. It's interesting. None of the news agencies updated. I don't know why. Or did they? Oh, they updated literally 8 minutes ago. Here, check this out. So as I was covering it 8 minutes ago. So that's okay. That's okay. It's good. It's good news. They say the Bexar County Sheriff's Office is thanking the public for helping in locating a missing 14-year-old girl. And they're saying that Nathaniel Edward Gonzalez has been detained for questioning. Questioning? I don't know about questioning. Probably jail for him. Authorities tracked Ramona's phone and was found abandoned. They said Gonzalez was considered a person of interest, and they would have so before, when she originally went missing, he was considered a person of interest. On Saturday night, an Amber Alert notification was issued calling him a suspect. However, BCSO took to Facebook to say he was not considered a suspect at the time. Sounds like a suspect, you know, when they say like walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, is a duck. So I'm saying he is definitely a duck now that he's been detained. I Hate Morning says, ping is yesterday, just before sending an email about an Amber Alert, the baby was found safe. See, I have some sort of curse about missing children. I don't know if it's a curse or a good luck charm, one or the other. But every time we bring one up, they're like, look, newsflash, they're found. It's a strange gift. Uh, Joe says, yeah, spell correctly and incorrectly. We can spell your name incorrectly if you want. We can do it with like a Z. So you can be like Zoe, but we can pronounce it Joe. That guy's stealing your moves too. Profile, hey my friend. Oklahoma City in America was one of the epicenters when I was doing work in conjunction with the states. They travel up through Texas into Oklahoma. There's quite a lot of agencies. Yeah, so they use the highway systems to move in between, different states. So they use those big interstate highways. Yeah, there's a good book on a similar subject that I was reading last year. It's not quite about that, although it sort of is. It's that long haul. one. Hold on. Done by like an ex FBI agent. It's called Long Haul. I was reading it because it is more about my interest, which is, uh, sex. What do they call them? Sex workers. Yeah, it's this one, and this one is about the hidden pattern of murders along U.S. roadways. They saying there's over 850 deaths linked to long haul truckers across the USA, and they talk about how they use these networks of interstate highways, and they change into different counties. So they may abduct a girl in Texas, and then they move into, I don't know, Missouri or Oklahoma, Kansas, and then they dispose of their body in another state. And it takes the agency such a long time to sort of figure out what's going on and why they were found over here, and was there a missing girl over here, and it skews the system and doesn't help like do things quickly. It's a really good book. If you've not read it, I thought it was one of the better true crime books that I read last year. I thought it was really well done and explains a lot about how, not linked to children as such, but more about how these killers can cross different areas, and you get away with it for long periods of time. So yeah, cheers. If you haven't read it, I think it's a good one, even though you probably know more than the book, but it's a good one. That guy, what was he? Former FBI assistant director. So he worked on the Highways project as part of his time at the FBI, which was very interesting. I Hate Morning says the age gap isn't seen the same way in many people raised in Mexico as we see it. I was doing surveys and shocked by how many 14, 15, 16-year-old girls married to guys 10 to 15 years older than them. Okay. I know in other countries it's normalized when it's just part of their culture, but in our side of the world, it's not. SP Mama said, all my uncles on my stepdad's side are truck drivers. Might make a good gift too for them. Well, unless they feel insulted that you might be calling them a serial killer, but yeah, they might find it interesting. It's probably a small percentage. So the majority of truck drivers are probably decent people, right? It's like any industry. But there is a small percent who use their anonymity, moving very quickly, changes in location to do these types of crimes. So that's a good one if you need a good book. But yeah, hey, anytime we can get a missing girl and I can look very foolish on my channel, I'm happy to do that. So she's home. That's good. We don't have to keep searching for that one. All right. About Malat. I know quite a bit about Malat. Texas Roadrunner says, who is that guy that has drawn all the women that he's abducted? He drew them with a Texas Ranger. The Green River Killer? Is that him? Is it the Green River guy? I know the one you're talking about. He has a really he doesn't know their names, but he knows what they look like. And he often will sketch them, and then the police will match that to other victims that they already know. Like he can tell you everything that happened when he killed them, but he doesn't know their name. He doesn't know where they're from. He doesn't know anything really about them except for what he did, and what they look like. Yeah, I think is it the uh if it is, hold on, I'll grab it. Yeah, Samuel Little, that's right. Yeah, I watched a really in-depth documentary on him and about how they solved a cold case where they found a woman, I think it was in Illinois, and they had no idea who she was, but he was able to tell them just about everything about what happened to her, but just didn't know her name. and I think they were able to backtrack and then figure it out. Yeah, Samuel Little's confessions. He has confessed to 93 murders, and the FBI crime analysts believe all of his confessions are credible. Little says he strangled 93 victims between 1970 and 2005. Many of his victims' deaths, however, were originally ruled overdoses or attributed to accidental or undetermined causes. Some bodies have never been found. Yeah, it's crazy. There you go. There's one of his sketches that he does. Here, do you guys want to hear a little bit from him? He has a confession here from the FBI, if you want to hear about it. But there's one of his sketches of a woman he picked up and killed. Yeah, we can play a little bit. It's only 2 minutes.
Tell me about Mary Ann.
She's what you nowadays they call a transgender.
She's a black male dressed up as a female. Okay. How tall is she?
Marianne's about 5'7", so 5'6". She weighed about 135,
Okay.
maybe 140.
And how old do you think she was?
But she was 19.
Okay. And where was she from?
No, Miami, down in Liberty City.
Okay. And did she, you mentioned before she had a boyfriend, or she talked about a boyfriend?
Named Wes.
Wes.
Yeah.
And tell me about where you met her at.
I seen her down at the Guar on 17th Avenue, and she had on a short cream miniskirt,
Mm-hmm.
cream and red. So then this opportunity popped up.
Mm-hmm.
Take her to the store.
Right.
Instead of me bringing her back to the apartment, I went down 27th Street. That's going down to Fort Lauderdale.
Mm-hmm.
Called the Alligator Alley. It runs in the Alligator Alley.
Right.
But the further out you get, the further you get out of Miami.
Right.
And you got vegetation.
Now, how far outside of Miami do you think you were?
It wasn't too far to Miami, right there. I was in my stepdad's car, Pontiac Le Mans.
And where'd you take her to?
Continue down 27.
Mm-hmm.
Got back on 27.
Going outside of Miami. Okay.
Miami.
Going away from Miami.
Going away from Miami. We got down past the let's say limits. So I continued on toward Fort Lauderdale, and I seen a road going off the main road back into vegetation on the left side. So I got her out of the car, pulled her out, and drug her into the growth back there, and pulled her deeper into there's a path, a little path was running somewhere. I don't know where it led it to, but it was running deeper into the undergrowth. It's like Everglades like that. And we ran into some water running. But before we got to the water, the earth was mushy. I turned her loose, and she fell into it face down.
And how far outside of Miami do you think you were?
About a mile, 2 miles.
What year did Mary Ann occur?
72.
Okay, 1972.
That guy is a real, like, serial killer, like the ones you read about in movies and TV, and like he's the top 1%. Like there's other ones, but he is like the top 1% of all killers. He might be the number one. I mean, he has I think they said he's confessed to 93, but they believe it could be hundreds of women. Not just not just 93, hundreds. Yeah, the other one, if you guys are interested for a second before we move on, the other one that really got me, there's a couple, but this one too, where is it? Is it this one? Maybe it's not this one. There's been a couple, but is it Al-Qaeda? Let me give me a second, guys. I want to find it. Yeah, it might be out. Yeah, I think it is this one. There's a serial killer, and they were trying to find who these women might be from the photos, and that one always always stayed with me because I find it so creepy that he had all these photos of all these women. I think there's might be a couple of people that have done this, but this one, and you see all these different women, they were trying to ID them and didn't know who half these women were and trying to figure out if they're alive or dead. It's one of the ones that I've always found really creepy. There's another one that they did too. I think is this one, the LAPD one. Yeah, the Grim Sleeper, and they had a whole bunch of photos of women. Some were like unconscious, some were awake, some weren't. They weren't sure if they're dead or just sleeping or knocked out or whatever. These type of ones always stay with me too. So Nikki says, I can't comprehend as to why or how he can talk so normally about them like it's a piece of furniture. It's brutal, right? He's just like, oh, I just took her into the marsh and, I set her loose and, killed her or whatever. It's crazy to hear someone talk. That's when you know you got a real psychopath, when they just talk about it like they're ordering a pizza. They're the real ones because, I've seen a lot of video of people pretending to be crazy or not crazy, but a psychopath, and they give you the movie version, like, licking windows and, talking in crazy words and stuff. That's not what it is. He's it. He's the real one. Samuel Little. You're a cult researcher. You like a cult study? Gary Ridgway? Is it Gary Ridgway? There's been a few. But the ones that where you get like the photos, those ones always you go, are they alive still? Are they dead? Did they make it out from the serial killer? They're the ones that I have a real fascination for. But I think this one they tracked down a lot of them. Some are alive, luckily. Some are alive today. Some unfortunately are not. I think there's still a few they're looking for. Woman of Steel said he has no conscience. He's a sociopath. Yes. Gaylor said he was rather proud of his work. Yeah, there's a long documentary on Samuel Little where they show you more of those FBI interviews, and they go for long periods of time, and they just keep going through different scenarios, and he just keeps rattling them off. He's like, "Oh, this woman, I was in Georgia, and I just killed her, and I strangled her. She was a hell of a B word. I just killed her. No, I was in LA, and I found this nice looking woman, so I killed her. No, I was in Texas," and he just rattles off all these women that he picked up and then disposed of. Diane says, watching on my TV, but want to say hello. Hello. Pazuzu Alazgard was very disturbing. I don't know if I know that one. I would have to look it up. Yeah, Gary Ridgway. Yeah, Gary Ridgway. Yeah, he's a Green River Killer. He's again like another one of the real ones. He is creepy as hell. What was the I'm trying to think. There was one I researched a while ago, and they did a documentary on it called like the Serial Killer City or something like that, and it was a Missouri or Mississippi. I'll look it up in a second. And there was two serial killers operating in the same town at the same time, and they got one of them, and then they were like, we won, we got the guy that's killing all the women. And then the guy's in jail, and women start turning up dead again, and they're like, what happened? Why is this still going on? They couldn't figure it out, but they did a very good retelling of that one. And if I find the title, I'll put it in the chat. I Hate Morning says Gary Ridgway was recently back in Seattle to talk about more victims because he's sick, possibly dying. I heard law enforcement thought it was their last chance to get information from him. the profiler brought up Ivan Milat. Ivan Milat is an Australian serial killer. He went to his grave not giving up any of his secrets. He didn't tell anything. Wouldn't tell the cops. He kept telling the police that he was innocent. He kept telling his I think it's his sister. He kept saying like, "I'm innocent, sis. Believe me. I'm a wrongfully convicted man in prison." And he did that for his entire time in prison. Woman of Steel said, I left the parking lot at Boeing in Renton, Washington at the same time as Gary Ridgway was being arrested across the street at Kenworth Trucks. Did not see a thing. Police were undercover. I Hate Morning says, I met Gary 3 times. Really? He's a very popular guy. I have no idea what that is, but we don't need him. You have new theories on Ivan Milat. I still believe he had help. I still believe there's more to the Ivan Milat story, that he possibly had help. Okay. Give me a sec. I just want to find that title to that movie, and then we're going to move on to the next story. Actually can't find it. I'm pretty sure it's something like they did a second one this year that was based in LA, but they did the first one a few years ago in a different state, and that's the one that's based on the 2 serial killers in the same town. I'm just looking through my list of movies because I know I have it. Not that one. Not that one. I have a lot of true crime docos. Disappearance. Nope. If I find it, I'll post about it. But yeah, it's about two serial killers that are operating in the same town at the same time. Woman of Steel said Ridgway is mega creepy. I agree. Profiler says, yeah, Shirley, his sister, was also. Yeah, I had read that. Yeah. Marlene says, I'm reading the book The Gift of Fear. Okay, I don't know that one. Marilyn says, a story with Ted Bundy at the mall. That is, imagine if she chose option B. Ivan stole like 3 wives. He did some weird stuff when he was younger. Yeah, before he was arrested. All right. Let me close out some of these links and let's keep going. There was a weird murder. Do you guys want to hear about a weird murder for a sec while I tee this up? I was watching Air Crash Investigation last night because I try to decompress from true crime by watching other things sometimes. And I was watching Air Crash Investigation because I quite like the mechanical investigation aspect of it. And they were talking about a plane controller, like the guy in the tower who operate overnight. His directions to 2 planes caused a plane crash, or they didn't blame it on him. They blamed it on understaffing, but he didn't control the planes incoming correctly, and they ended up colliding in midair and crashing. And after this happened, the investigation and all the things came out. Someone went to his home and shot and killed him, murdered him. And the guy that murdered him was a man who had 3 members of his family, I think it was his wife and 2 children, on the flight. And he had actually gone to the traffic controller's home and killed him because he said that guy took his life from him, like his wife and his children. So he decided to take revenge. So the profile says, I can't explain it. Yeah, I'll look into all those. Yeah, it's yeah. what's his name? Peter Nielsen. Peter Nielsen. So if you've never heard the story of him, it is very interesting. Peter Nielsen. Yeah, let me see if I can find like a quick video that you can watch. I can't, but if I can find the episode, the number, I'll tell you, and then you guys can watch it. Is it in his? If we go to his Wikipedia, is it in here? Podcast, no. Films, no. TV. It is a season 2 episode called Deadly Crossroads of Mayday. It's called Mayday in some countries. Some countries call it air emergency. Some countries call it air disasters. Some places call it air crash investigations. So it's got multiple different titles. But I'll put this in the chat. So if you want to know more about his story and how that happened, you guys can watch the episode. But I don't think I'd ever heard of something like that happening before. A guy doing his job somewhat screwed up. They also blamed it on the company for not having enough air traffic controllers at night. And guy sought revenge for his family being killed. When he was released from prison, the guy accused of killing Nielsen, he went back to his home country and was treated like a hero. Was given a parade, like ticker tape parade, confetti, got a medal for what he did. They celebrated his act against the guy. Warner still said it's air disasters here. Oh, really? It's called air crash investigations, I think, in Australia. I think in the UK it's called Mayday. So different countries have different titles for it. All right. Let's go to our next story. Actually, I have two. Which one are we going to do? Okay. That's a good one. Let's head out to Arizona. I want to take you to Arizona because I think this will be good. Emily Pike. So you guys remember we spoke about Emily Pike, the 14-year-old who lived in a group home in Arizona, but was found out in the desert, dismembered. And I still think to this day they have not located her arms. Well, she was laid to rest today, and I think it'd be good to watch a little bit of that. So let me take you here.
This mural, painted in honor of Emily Pike, just about a mile from where her service was held at San Carlos High School. People from all over coming together to fill the gym. Family telling me Saturday was about sharing Emily's story.
We are here to celebrate the life of Emily Carla Pike.
Over the last 2 days, people from Arizona and beyond have shown up for Emily Pike.
Today, we let the world know who she was.
The 14-year-old making her journey back home, surrounded by her San Carlos Apache family.
Emily spoke so loudly, she caught the whole world's attention.
Emily was living in a Mesa group home when she was reported missing in January. Weeks later, she was found killed off the US 60 about 20 minutes northeast of Globe.
Say her name!
What was done to her wasn't right.
Saturday, after an overnight wake, hundreds gathering as families shared memories and pictures of the teen.
Emily overall was smart, sweet, soft-spoken, quiet, funny, and kind-hearted. She was beautiful inside and out. Emily loved Hello Kitty, the color pink. She loved anything and everything that was girly.
Through grief and pain, the community coming together, surrounding both sides of Emily's family.
Knowing that the persons responsible for her death have not been found, that adds to the hurt and the pain and the closure.
while demanding change and justice in Emily's case.
Let us pray for our law enforcement agencies so that they can work together and find whoever did this horrible act.
Just up the road, loved ones and visitors placing red handprints at the bottom of that mural in honor of the teen, a symbol to represent the crisis of missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls all over the country.
It just really reflects the ongoing challenges that we have that unfortunately ties us all together in Indian country.
Some even there as Emily's final procession drove by.
We are going to continue to write her story. Through her, laws are going to be changed. Through her, lives are going to be changed.
Well, I don't know about the laws, but I hope they find whoever killed Emily. And I hope it's not going to be like 20 years from now. It seems to be moving quite slow right now. The last update we had was that they had no suspects and no lines of inquiry, which is very concerning to me. I can't believe that a 14-year-old girl who was, taken and killed and dismembered, that they can't seem to figure out who might have wanted to do that to her. They can't find any information through her social media, her phone, anything like that. I find that disturbing, to say the least. It is unfathomable, really. So I hope they can do something. We've got to find the person. There's someone out there in Arizona who cuts up 14-year-olds and dumps them out near Globe in the desert. Think about that if you live in Arizona like Joe. If you live out there like Joe, there's someone out there that that does this to little girls. So I don't think you guys want that person in your community. And the quicker they can get that person or persons out of there, the better. It's crazy to think that there's just someone walking around who does that. I'll bring you more on Emily if we know more. Right now, it's been moving a little slowly. Here, let's go here. Let me get out of this. I have far too many links open. Okay, cause of death. Yep. So I'm going to take you to WTVG, to a different story. This is Kaimani. So if you guys remember the Kaimani story, she's 13 years old. We seem to be doing a lot of teenage stories today. I'm going to take you to that. They say LCCS investigation said they found no evidence to remove Kaimani from her home. And so if you don't remember this story, she was ended up found in like an abandoned house, murdered, like graphically murdered. It's brutal. Let me play the video and then I'll tell you more about Kaimani.
And leaders with Lucas County Children's Services say they understand there's a lot of scrutiny surrounding all of this and that the public has a lot of questions surrounding this tragedy. Today, the agency's director made his first comments about Kimani's case. 13 Action News reporter Lily Lowndes has details about what's next. She's standing by live tonight. Lily.
Lee, it's not only the community that is hoping for answers. This is a story we broke yesterday on 13 Action News at 10 that Lucas County commissioners wanted to work with Children's Services to form an investigative task force. And today that task force was approved.
Community members are ready to take action after the tragic murder of 13-year-old Kimani Lateague.
Obviously, like everybody else in the community, I heard what had happened to this young girl.
Gordon Berry is a former Lucas County Children's Services board member. When he heard that concerns about Kimani's safety were allegedly reported to the agency, he wanted to make sure that the county would never have a case with an outcome like this again.
It's my intention to contact the commissioners and volunteer my services.
Berry is hoping to join a special agency review task force launched by the Children's Services Board in collaboration with county commissioners.
I think it can only lead to good things, and I'm looking forward to the results.
Children's Services Executive Director Randy Muth said the task force will look at the agency's policies. The details of Kimani's case are a separate matter. Muth says he knows the community has questions, but the prosecutors have asked they hold off on releasing any new information.
Review all those documents and make a determination as to whether the benefit of informing the public outweighs the potential damage that could be done to a future prosecution.
With that in mind, Muth says they're still in talks with prosecutors.
We've sent the information over. We have sent some suggested statements that we might make, for their approval.
Meanwhile, the task force is going full steam ahead. Barry says he hopes that the agency gets the resources they need.
Well, it won't bring Kaimani back, but I hope that no other kid has to go through it, even though that feels like a false fallacy by stating that, because seems like we can't rid our community of these type of crimes. Shad said, "No, in the woods at night." Who's in the woods? You are? Joe Neal says, "The Phoenix area is high crime." So I heard you say about CCTV before about Emily Pike. Apparently they do have some sort of video, but it's not been released to the public as of yet. Hey, Bees Are Life. Thank you, my friend, for becoming a member. I appreciate it. Let me see. Hey, Spacey Tracy. Too many Indigenous girls and women missing and killed without coverage or proper investigations. Let's hope it starts with Emily then, and we can get a proper investigation, because to me it's frightening that a 14-year-old girl just goes missing from her group home where she's supposed to be cared for. Like, that's what it's there for, is to give kids a home who don't have somewhere else to go, or their home life is no good, and she ended up murdered in the desert. So, and then you see this one, Kaimani. It's not the same, but they showed a video a couple of days ago of the body cam footage of Kaimani's killer, her father, Darnell Jones, and that they have the body cam footage. So I'll play that here for you. Yeah, I won't play all of it, but I'll play the first bit.
Dude, show me your hands right now. Pull your hand out of your. I swear to God, pull your.
Next at 6, body cam video released showing the shooting and the arrest of the man suspected of killing Kimani Lategue.
We were able to develop information and leads, and as sad as it is, recover her and bring some closure to the family, to the community.
Plus, the investigation into the kidnapping and murder of Kimani continues. Today, we sit down with the Toledo Police Chief.
So that was the confrontation with her killer. He ended up being shot. Yeah, hold on. Kaimani. Yeah, so they shot him. I think he's alive though. And he's been was wanted for the kidnapping and murder charges. Yeah, let me go here for you. They say Kamani's father is arrested for her murder. Police say the case is horrific. I agree, it is horrific. Darnell Jones was injured Tuesday when he exchanged gunfire with a Columbus SWAT officer about 140 south of where he is wanted in Toledo for his daughter's murder. So that was that video I just showed you of his exchange with that officer. He's lucky he didn't get killed. 2, the officer too. Like, they were very close to each other. Yeah, he's alive. Yeah, he was charged over it. Gayla said they sat him up after and were nicer to him than I would be. Yeah, I think they have to, like, a duty of care. Joe Neal said most NA victims are murdered on the reservations. Well, this one wasn't though. But still, doesn't matter if you're white, doesn't matter if you're Asian, doesn't matter if you're a native American person or Canadian or whatever. Doesn't matter if you're an octopus. Probably needs to have, her death has to have respect and dignity and a proper investigation. Gayla says the fact that they say she was R-worded and her throat slashed, what father does that? I don't know. Not a real father anyway. Gayla said they set him up. Yeah. It's a terrible case. It really is. I don't think I've ever heard something so graphic about someone killing their own kids, and we've done a lot of them. Yeah, poor girl. It's really, really awful. I wish I could play more of that body cam, but I think it's got annoying music halfway through it. Hold on. All right. No, we can.
His hood back, so he's got a bald head, it looks like.
Columbus police around 10 Tuesday morning. They'd been aware that Darnell Jones could be in town for the past 2 days. An officer spotted someone that matched his description.
What's your name? Kill me.
Dude, show me your hands right now. Pull your hand out of your. I swear to God, pull your.
Body cam footage from Columbus police shows Jones appear to reach for something in his pocket. That's when the officer opened fire, hitting Jones at least once.
Don't move. He's got 33 right there. 33 in his hand. No, it's a walkie-talkie, but there are 33s right here. Don't you move or you're going to get shot, okay?
Officers approached slowly, concerned because Jones still had a gun within his reach. Officers are able to move the weapon away and get Jones in cuffs.
We'll get you help, okay? I just want to die, bro. No, I know, but we can't allow that.
Jones was taken to the hospital where he remains tonight. Once he's healthy enough to be discharged, Jones will be arraigned in Columbus on a felonious assault charge. We expect him to be sent back to Toledo to face a judge for the murder and abduction of Kimani Lateef. Reporting tonight, Dan.
He says, "I just want to die." They should have let him. I mean, after what he did to his daughter, let him. I mean, you're gonna have to keep him alive and fed and whatever for the next billion years of his life in jail. Anyway, would have saved the family a trial, would have saved the county a lot of money. Just let him do what he wants. But horrific. That girl's death. I mean, it's just like, why? Why? Like, why would you do that to your, not just a little girl, but why would you do that to your own daughter? So, I've never heard something so brutalized for their own kid. So they say cause of death revealed for Kimani after father's arrest. They say she was essayed, hands cut off, and nearly decapitated. What the hell? There you go. There's both their photos. Darnell Jones. I don't like calling him her father, because a father means you actually care about your daughter and you are active in her life, or you actually give a crap. He's basically none of that. They say authorities in Ohio announced the cause of death for Kimani. The 13-year-old was found dead in a burned building days after she was last seen with her father. So this all happened back on March 18 in Toledo, Ohio. Police issued an arrest warrant for her father, Darnell Jones, on Sunday the 23rd in connection with her abduction, according to a statement from the Toledo PD. And they said that she was found in that burnt-out abandoned building on the Monday, after which authorities rendered an arrest warrant for Jones on a murder charge. He was arrested on Tuesday by Columbus police after allegedly exchanging gunfire with officers, which you saw in that video. He sustained critical wounds during that confrontation. They say the Lucas County Coroner's Office has now announced the cause of Kimani's death. Police documents refer to her as Kimani, like one word, no, I don't know what that is, apostrophe. They say the autopsy revealed she died from multiple incised wounds on the neck. So her neck was cut. They say Brian Steele, a lieutenant with the Columbus PD, tells people that the child was found in a horrific condition. She had allegedly been nearly decapitated, essayed, and her hands were cut off. What the hell? They say in the arrest warrants reviewed by People, Toledo police allege Jones provided inconsistent statements about his activity with his daughter, as well as his whereabouts. When Columbus police approached him on Tuesday, Jones allegedly shot at an officer with a gun from inside his sweatshirt. Officers opened fire on him, critically injuring him. Steele says he is now in stable condition. The officers were not injured. There's that home that they found her in. post it up here. There you go. So there's that burnt out home with a bunch of the community out there. We'll see. One of the worst cases ever, in my opinion. I agree. It's even covering it is very hard. I don't like reading stories about that type of thing. Even though we do true crime every day, it's these child cases get to you after a while. Hold on, let me go here. We've done that one. I have to make some room. I've got no more tabs left. I've run out of all the tabs. We've done that one. All right, let's go here. We did that. Sorry, guys. I got to make room, otherwise we can't do any more stories. Okay, all right. All right. I'm hoping we're going to get a new season of Cold Justice in the next month. I'm also hopeful that we may get a new season of Trafficked. Now, if you're a fan of Trafficked with Mariana, it is a great series that takes you into the underworld of different things. Could be, different types of trafficking, could be scams, could be some sort of illegal activity. Now, normally that season gets released in January, but this year, so far, no season yet. So we're waiting on it. I'm looking forward to it. Gail says helicopter above me, either hospital or the Popo. Yeah, we get them here too because we have an airport about five kilometers away, so they're always bloody flying overhead. Actually, last week I saw my first ever Chinook, the one with the double propellers. We had one flying around here last week. I've never seen one before in 40 years of living in, Australia, Melbourne, and Sydney. I've never seen one flying in the air. And they had one flying, I don't know what they were doing, but there was an army one. It was a military one. And it was flying around. And I saw it fly over my home. And it was like gigantic. These things are like a flying bus. They are massive. But yeah, we saw one in my local area last week. Hold on, maybe it's in the news. Yeah, see, someone said saw 3 Chinooks and an Apache flying around Melbourne last week. Yeah, so a lot of people had reported it. They're saying that there's a lot of them, including one that was hovering over a place called DFO. It's like a giant mall. Yeah, all on the 23rd of March this year to the 29th. Everyone's saying that they were over Melbourne, which is interesting. I don't know what they are doing out here right now. I'm going to show you a photo if I can get it. Here, let me upload this. So there was a bunch of them apparently, about 3 of them, according to the report I could see on social media. What they're doing down here, training, I don't know, but I've never seen one in Melbourne before. There you go. An Australian Chinook. So that's one of them. Apparently this person took a photo while it was flying around Melbourne. Yeah, yes. Sean, I saw them in Melbourne last week. What they're doing, no idea. Joe Neal says, I've been on one. You've been on one? What do you call them? A Waka Waka army have them? You know how I knew it was something different? The noise. Like I have had, we get helicopters, police helicopters, they're quite loud. We even get those Ericsson sky cranes that fly over here during the fire season. And those things are freaking loud. This thing sounds like an Ericsson sky crane. They're about the same decibel from flying over. It is loud as hell. And the reverberations are very heavy. Joe Neal says, I've been on one they flew my platoon out to our base in Afghanistan. Interesting. But yeah, there you go. This is one of the ones that was seen in Melbourne last week. You see the kangaroo on the side of it for our local army. What they were doing down here? Probably some sort of training mission, or I don't know. But a lot of people were reporting about it on social media, apparently. Oh, I wish I could play this video. You could actually see them. Let me see if I can. I never saw that. I only saw one. But apparently someone saw all three of them and the Apache helicopter behind it. So it definitely looks like some sort of military exercise or something like that. That's cool as hell, though. Never ever seen one in Melbourne before, though. So did we buy them? Did our government buy them and then want to test them out? No idea. Pretty cool. Maybe the US are down here. Maybe the US training. We often train with US military, so maybe they're down here doing something. Afghanistan is wild. I can't say I've ever been there. Can't say I've ever been there. Oh, what were they doing? Yeah, I'm trying to find out what they were actually doing. Oh, people are saying, okay, there was a air show in Avalon this weekend, and they had a plane crash, unfortunately. People are saying maybe they were brought out for the Avalon Air Show, which happens, every year. Maybe that's what it was for, transporting them to the air show. Anyway, there you go. Something interesting from Melbourne. I can't say, like I said before, I've ever seen one flying, and to see that thing was crazy. It literally looks like a flying bus. That's what it looks like to me. All right, let's go here. Missing child. All right, we can do this. Let's go to Fox 13 in Tampa Bay. Let's go to Florida. If it'll load. Come on. Oh, no, it's not going to load for us. Okay, fine. They say a statewide missing child alert has been issued for two 14-year-old girls last seen in Bradenton in Florida. They say what they know. I'm not even going to pronounce these girls' names. Suri Ann Ellis, Perez Sanchez, 14, and Marlon Daniela Cordona Barahona. Barahona? I think that might be a J. 14 were last seen in the 1800 block of Martin Luther King Jr. Avenue in Bradenton, and officials believe they may be in Pensacola headed for Texas. Headed for Texas, okay. They say Perez Sanchez was last seen on Thursday, March 27, but investigators say Cordona was last known contact on March 5th, so like weeks earlier than the other girl. Here's a photo of them. So they're trying to go from Florida to Texas. They're described as white Hispanic females. Both around 5 feet. Between 5 feet and 5 feet 3 inches tall. They both weigh between 70 and 95 pounds. Investigators haven't released many details about the girl's disappearance, but they are considered endangered. All right. Let me see if I can find anything else about these two girls. I don't see an update. That's interesting. No update for two missing teenage girls? Okay. But they have activated. So Florida law enforcement have issued that missing child alert for them. They were, last seen in the 1800 block of Martin Luther King Avenue in Bradenton. Okay. They say one of the girls has a piercing in her tongue and abdomen. Got to watch out for those abdomen piercings. And may have dyed bright red hair. Marlon may go by the name Daniela. Those with information can call 911 or contact the Bradenton Police Department. Okay. That's all we have apparently. So if you see them in Texas or somewhere around there, call it in. It's weird to me. Hold on, let me check the Amber Alert. Are they on the Amber Alert? They may not be, because it's not an abduction. Nope, they are not. I just wanted to check. Maybe they had more info. But the very sad case of Sophia Franklin, again, is still up there. All right, let me check one other place for information about these two girls. Fox Now, Where TV? Let me check their front page. Has there been an update for them? No. No, there hasn't. They just say girls missing out of Bradenton, maybe in Pensacola on their way to Texas. It's a long trip. How are they getting from Bradenton to Pensacola to Texas? Do they have a vehicle? Is someone driving them? Are they hitchhiking? How would they move this kind of large distances? I'm trying to see how that works. Yeah, no mention of family or why they might be going to Texas. Very strange. That's all the info I have on these two. Yeah, I know what the abdomen piercing was. I just thought it was weird. Texas says you can feel them coming. You can definitely the wind that they displace is massive. Gayla says when you live on a tank range and have things like that daily, it's normality. I can't say it's normal in Melbourne to have the Chinooks flying around everywhere. We don't normally get them. If I hear more about those two girls, I'll let you know. But that's literally all the info they give us. So that's all we know. All right, I'm gonna try go to this one. All right. All right, 1 second. I'm gonna check one place. I want to see if there's a local reporter who's covering these girls. 1 minute. All right. So what's weird? Um, the coverage that I can find has her, but not the other girl. So when I check social media sources, they're all talking about this girl, but not the other one. And I find that's very little odd. I'm trying to find out why they're only speaking about one of them and not both of them. Marlene Barahona. Yeah, there's very little on social media about these two girls. So I don't know what other information I can give you, but if you're in Florida or a state between Florida and Texas and you see either of them, call it into your local PD. When do your clocks change? Next week. Next weekend, we come off daylight savings. Finally. Finally. I freaking hate daylight savings. I can't wait to go back to the other one. Yeah, yeah. So one more story, and then we're gonna get out of here for a Saturday night. I'm just trying to get this one. All right, here we go. We go to WERG. Saturday nights, we like to catch up with some stories we couldn't get to during the week. And this one, I think, might make you very angry. So listen to this.
Family is finally receiving justice nearly a year after the killing of their beloved daughter. The district attorney's office plans to charge the 17-year-old suspect as an adult. WREG's Raven Copeland has more on the arrest and heartbreak of the victim's family.
We should have more time. She was only 19. She hadn't even started to live life.
It's been almost a year since Aaliyah Kyles was raped and murdered at her Hickory Hill apartment. The district attorney's office says a juvenile who is now 17 committed the crime on July 9th, 2024. A spokesperson for the DA's office tells WREG the suspect admitted to breaking into the victim's home, sexually assaulting the victim, and fatally shooting her. Police reports show witnesses heard a disturbance and multiple gunshots. Moments later, they saw a man in all black running from the scene. When this tragedy happened in July, your news leaders spoke to the victim's parents. They described their pain over their 19-year-old daughter's murder.
It's been hard for us, real hard, because you took someone that means so much to me. She was like the glue to our family. That was my everything.
The juvenile suspect in Kyles' case is charged with first-degree murder and rape. The district attorney's office tells WREG they're pursuing adult charges. As the victim's family awaits justice, they're holding on to memories of their beloved 19-year-old, who they say had much more life to live. Reporting for your news leader, Raven Copeland, WREG, News Channel 3.
At least they're charging him as an adult, but you have to, I mean, that poor family, right? I think I remember when this happened, we actually did it originally when she was found in the home. But at least now we're finally probably going to get to the justice point of it. Let me just check one thing. Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure we did it when she was first found. Yeah, let me go to. Yeah, it was 12th of July, 2024. So if you went back then, you would probably see it. Yeah. This was it back then. Yeah, I'm gonna play. I think this might be the original video, but we'll see.
Following two deadly shootings, the most recent happened just hours ago on Bald Eagle Drive off Ridgeway in Hickory Hill around 2 o'clock this morning. Memphis police tell us a woman was killed. Detectives have not released suspect information, but our photojournalist witnessed several people being placed in the back of Memphis police squad cars.
Yeah, I remember this video when we covered it. I think it was the same weekend or very close to another weekend where there was that story about the boy who broke into a birthday party and killed people inside of the birthday party. I think pretty sure this was either the same weekend or very close to it. And yeah, as you can see, that was the original one. Now we know who committed the crime. And if we go here, let's get
Following two deadly shootings.
There we go. They say the juvenile who has not been identified has been charged with the first-degree murder and R-word following the 19-year-old's death. And they say prosecutors say he admitted to breaking into her home, essaying her, and then shooting her. Police said they found the woman in her bathtub. And they say the DA's office is trying to try the juvenile as an adult and has requested a transfer for him. Good. Good. I cannot believe it's taken this long. Here's the original news article from back in July of last year. This is in Memphis, Tennessee. They said the woman was found dead at a shooting in Hickory Hill. MPD say officers were called to Bald Eagle Drive just after 2 a.m. Last year. Then they just said the photographer saw several people being placed in the back of a Memphis PD squad car, and that was the breaking news that night. Yeah, I think if you went back to that day, you'll see me play this exact article. You remember that one, Danny? Yes, it was a bathtub. Yeah, I don't know. No idea. They haven't said his name, so don't know. All right. Oh, Grizzlies fire head coach Taylor Jenkins. I don't know who the Grizzlies are. Is that an NBA team? If you're a fan of shush. If you're a fan of the NBA, the Memphis Grizzlies fired their coach today. Apparently, there you go. If you're into the NBA, apparently, if you're a Memphis fan, you don't have a coach right now. Okay. Oh, yeah. I was just trying to see if we had a photo, since he is now being charged as an adult. Do they have that photo of him? Is that a mugshot? Nope. No, I don't think they've released one yet. But here's a photo of her. Here. This was the woman killed by that juvenile. You know, seemed like she had a lot going on for her. This looks like a graduation thing. And he decided to shoot her in her bathtub and SA her. It's Memphis, no white people there. I don't know. I've never been to Memphis. Gayla says, how's Mrs. P and mother-in-law? Mother-in-law's back home now. She's doing okay. She's just on a lot of medication for her illness. Mrs. P's the same, not well, not well, just not well. She's not she's not going to get better anytime soon right now. They're still trying to figure out the surgery and all those type of things. So it's still a long journey. Woman of Steel said she was gorgeous. Yeah, seems like she was a nice young lady, and to be killed in that way is horrific. You know, I bring you these stories every night, and it feels like they are never ending. Like there is a mountain of them, and we never get to the top. It's like we never cover all the stories because there's so many to bring you from so many states and cities and countries that we never quite get there because there's just too many, and that is an awful thing to think about. That doesn't matter what country or city you come from, you probably had a crime like this occur, you know, in the last month. You know, some young person was probably killed, shot, SA'd. Same deal, just different city. Joniel said Tennessee has the DP, but he won't get it. Well, probably not because he's a juvenile, even though they're charging him as an adult. He may not. Let's see. All right. I think that's about it for your Saturday night. I don't think I have too many more. Let me double check. Actually, I want to see if there's we did Clinton Bonnell last night. I told you the new update, how Shanna Cloud was arrested over his death. Oh, we have a mugshot of Shanna. I want to show you that. Yay. Here we go. Here's a mugshot of the woman who killed her husband, dismembered him, and then threw him in a body of water. She's been charged with his murder as of Friday. Oh, yeah, you did, my friend, you did. CBS. Yeah, we can do that one too. I just want to do this one first. Yeah, I'm very happy that Clinton has someone under arrest now. But they found his body with no arms or no legs in a pond behind his home. And his like last message was telling a friend, I'm just heading home from the gym. Yeah, let's see what this says here. According to the sheriff's office, deputies traveled to Virginia with the assistance of the Virginia State Police. They executed search warrants on Cloud's vehicle, rental property, and cell phone. Deputies said they also obtained search warrants for digital data, such as cell phone records, video footage, and digital devices to develop a timeline of events surrounding Bonnell's disappearance and his whereabouts before he disappeared. The warrants reveal he was planning to divorce Shanna Cloud prior to his disappearance. After the search warrant was executed on Cloud, she admitted she had a confrontation with him over a note from his girlfriend. In late February, the Cumberland County man discovered a Cumberland County man discovered a body with no arms or legs in a pond behind his home on Gainey Road, just 3 miles from Clinton's home. Remains were being tested to see if they matched with Bonnell, which now we know they did. Shanna Cloud was arrested at her home without incident. She has now been charged with first-degree murder and concealment of death, according to the sheriff's office. Deputies said Cloud was not given a bond and is scheduled to make her first appearance in Cumberland County Court on March 31st on Monday. So there we go. Finally. And just awful to dismember your own ex-husband or soon-to-be ex-husband and then dump him in a pond. It's horrific. Jo Neal said she didn't get out of the ghetto fast enough. Is that the other story you mean? He got ambushed. Yeah, definitely. He got home and she jumped him, I think. All right. That's a good update. We'll see more on Monday about Shanna Cloud. All right. Let me do this one from you, Woman of Steel. If it'll load up.
Newborn baby whose body was found in a pond, and they're looking for the infant's mother who may need help. The police chief in Manchester, New Hampshire says it was heartbreaking to find the little girl's body at Pine Island State Park. And as Tammy Mutasa found out, investigators hope that someone out there can tell them who she is.
Tonight, the discovery of this newborn baby girl is weighing on the hearts of this community and even first responders. Now police are asking the public for help and fear the mom might be in danger.
It can't be described. It's awful.
A discovery so heartbreaking, even first responders trained for these situations are shaken. The body of a newborn baby girl floating in a pond at Pine Island Park in Manchester.
It's heartbreaking to have to deal with. It's extremely tragic. I worry about the mental health of my officers.
The discovery is now being treated as a suspicious death investigation after the results of an autopsy and facts detectives gathered.
Scary, very nerve-wracking.
The tragic news reaching parents at the park.
It have to be something really devastating to push a mom to do something like that. So.
The park off Brown Avenue yesterday when someone found an object moving in the water. That's when investigators quickly figured out it was a baby.
We don't know who this baby was or if there's a woman out there who needs help. All we know is that she's a newly born baby girl and we need information.
Information they're asking for is if anyone saw someone discarding anything in the water in the last 14 days. Or if anyone knows a pregnant woman who gave birth in the last 14 days who needs medical help. They just want to know how a baby ended up dead in a pond.
It's very rare. This doesn't happen ever.
It's very sad when we have to hear stories like that about these babies that end up in all these weird places like airport bathrooms, a college dorm bin, lakes. We've heard a few from different bodies of water, including in Australia. You know, they never located that one in Australia. Remember last year there was a baby found in the river, on the banks of the river. They never found the mum for that. They never located her. I hope they do here and that she gets all the help she needs. Like that woman said, What would it take to drive a woman to do this to her newborn child, and what kind of help does she need? So I like that they're putting out a call to help her. Yeah, the mother needs help for sure. Yeah, newborn baby. Yeah, it was the placenta one. Yeah, the one they found in Sydney. Yeah, but they never located the woman. They never located who that might be. So, um, awful story. I don't think there's an update, is there? Let's have a look. Body flap. All right, let me have a quick look. No, they're just saying that they're investigating. So right now, it looks like they're still hoping that appeal will bring someone forward. That's what it seems like right now. Yeah, 11 hours ago. Please seek. Yeah, so please seek the public's help. That's it. Right now, they're still hoping someone will come forward and tell them who this might belong to.
Of this newborn baby.
Yeah. The body was found floating in a pond at Pine Island Park in Manchester, New Hampshire. It's heartbreaking to have to deal with it. It's extremely tragic. I worry about the mental health of my officers, according to the police chief, Peter Marr. The discovery is being treated as a suspicious death investigation, a suspicious death investigation after the results of an autopsy and facts detectives have gathered. One parent at the park said it is very scary, very nerve-wracking. There had to be something devastating to push a mum to do that. I agree. Um, hold on. I want to look into that after that. If we hear any more, I will let you know. Geez, what's going on in what's going on in this area? You got like human remains found in Fayetteville, body found in Cape Fear, body found in Cumberland County, father of 3 shot. It's busy in Carolina and New Hampshire apparently. What is this? Family looking for answers after father of 3 shot, killed outside Fayetteville home. Lacarius Dove is the guy's name. Let's see if it plays the video. If it'll play. No. Oh, there we go.
Everybody that he met, he stole their heart.
For Natisha Webb, her nephew Laquarius Dove was more like a son. Natisha helped raise Laquarius.
Laquarius, in our eyes, was our baby. He was a baby.
The 28-year-old was a doting dad, father of 3, and a loving husband. He traveled for work as a technician for Mercedes. The job required him to commute to Alabama every week. Earlier this month, Laquarius was returning home when the unthinkable happened.
I just remember screaming. Like, she was screaming so loud, we couldn't make out what she was trying to say. And she said, Laquarius has been shot.
On March 8th, Cumberland County deputies responded to the family's home in Fayetteville. Dove was discovered in his car, suffering from a gunshot wound. He would later be pronounced dead at that scene.
His car was parked right here.
Natisha returning to the home where her nephew took his final breath, trying to make sense of the senseless tragedy unfolding just a few feet from his front door.
It was definitely an evil person who
Definitely an evil person. Sounds like the guy was living a pretty honest life, working a lot, traveling for work, and just trying to trying to get by. Why would someone want to rock up to his home and shoot him? That's the question. Did he have any enemies? Was someone after him? Was it someone trying to take his vehicle, like a carjacking gone wrong?
just had a vendetta, and it was totally unnecessary and uncalled for.
As investigators search for clues in the case, she and her family search for justice.
Laquarius had big dreams for more, and This person took all of that away.
Now, this grieving family is clenching tight to memories.
They took 3 beautiful children's father. They took away a husband. They took away a son. They took away a beautiful person.
And anyone with information in this case is asked to contact the Cumberland County Sheriff's Office or Crime Stoppers.
Let me see if there's any other information on Lecarius Dove. They did start a GoFundMe after his death. It raised only $1,255. Is this it? Yeah, Lecarius. Yep. Sounds like this is the, yep, Lecarius Dove. And they only raised only around $1,000. I mean, that might be a lot for that particular community, so it is very generous of them. But they said here, 6 people called 911 late Saturday night on May 8th. May 8th in Cumberland County. What? May? We're not in May. Hold on, guys. What is that? What is going on? Because it ain't May. Yeah, earlier this month, Dove was returning home when the unthinkable happened. Yeah, so it was this month. On March 8th, someone had a spelling mistake, I think. Yeah, she says, it was truly an evil person who had a vendetta. Vendetta means someone had something, like they were out for him. So do they know something that no one else knows? Was someone actually out for him? They say, as investigators search for clues, Webb and her family are searching for justice. He had big dreams and was in search of more, and that person took that away. And he had 3 children too. Charges, yeah, They said he was a doting father of 3 and loving husband. He traveled for work as a technician for Mercedes-Benz, and the job required him to commute to Alabama every week. Okay. Let me do last week. That's weird. I don't see a lot of information outside of that article. Yeah. They said around 10 p.m., deputies with the Cumberland County Sheriff's Office responded to a shots fired call at a home in the 300 block of Pebble Street in Fayetteville. Deputies found Lecarius Dove with a gunshot wound. Dove, 28, was pronounced dead at the scene. The investigators do not believe the shooting to be a random act of violence. So you pair that with the family saying there was a vendetta. I say possibly that they might know who was targeting him, because the cops are already saying they don't believe it was random. Yeah, very strange. 28. He was only 28. No one ever, yeah, for the child. I can't imagine being a first responder and having to pull a newborn baby out of water who could have been there for almost 2 weeks. That is nightmare fuel. Nightmare fuel. Yeah, I can't find too much more on Lecarius Dove, but I hope they find out who did this to him. He is listed on the National Gun Memorial, apparently. Here. Lost to gun violence on March 8, 2025 in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And he had a nickname, number of children, personality, very loving and funny, fun and loving. He went to Westover, and people are saying, I miss you. Yeah, there you go. There's some photos of him, obviously, when he was younger. This is when he was probably quite a bit younger. He looks like a young man there, maybe with his first baby, maybe with his first child. So there you go. Seems like he was trying to provide for his children, have had a job, went to work every day. Who would want to rob him of that? Beefing or snitching? Well, we'll see. We'll see if they find someone over his murder. I'll put his name in my alert thing, and hopefully we'll get an update about Lecarius Dove in the future. All right, my friends, I'm gonna get out of here. It is late Saturday night or early Sunday morning for the majority of you. I will be back tomorrow for Sunday Nights with Ping, which is sort of like our version of 60 Minutes, and we'll have a great case to talk about tomorrow night. Keep an eye out for the thumbnail and the notification. By the way, I want to say thanks to Sean. Sean, thank you very much for the donation. I appreciate it, buddy. And Bees Are Life for becoming a YouTube member. Thank you very much, my friend. I appreciate it. I hope you guys had enjoyed the show tonight. Hopefully my voice will be less coffee and scratchy tomorrow. It's a little dry today. I will be. Oh, is it Mother's Day for British mums on the Sunday? Happy Mother's Day to all the mums in Britain. Or yeah, have a great Mother's Day for everyone in the UK. I will see you all tomorrow night for a Mother's Day show, apparently. Mother's Day True Crime. Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know it was Mother's Day. Well, have a great Mother's Day, all the mums out there. All right. Love you all. Bye. Bye-bye.